Welcome back. As I am uncovering this, we're going to get a little bit more work done on the fenders today. So if you look, this driver's side is in, and it's rough, but it's in and on. And I have the entire bottom side welded up really well. I didn't want to do too heavy on the top side because it's going to make blending a little trickier in doing so. But I hit it and covered the outside with an epoxy primer to protect it. And then this will be the primer that we're able to do a little body filter on top of, and so on and so forth. You actually want that when it comes to this, but basically we're going to get to working on the other side to try to finish that thing up, make look decent on the other side. I mean, I welded in the trim holes and a bunch of stuff on this. So this one is like, I don't want to call it done, but it's a rough done. And I still have to figure out what I want to do down here with this overhang, but that's stuff I'm going to worry about later. Realistically, I want to get the other side to this place and then be able to start working on doing a little bit of finishing work with these front fenders. So with the passenger side, I still have the trim holes I need to weld in. This one right here, some blending on the welds on the outside. They aren't beautiful. I need to finish the back side over here to match that. And then really do a good job on cleaning up all the surface and then get some epoxy primer. So it's a good amount of work to do to wrap this guy up. But realistically, to get in the same spot that the other side is in right now, so we can work on moving some other little efforts forward, but step at a time, right? All right, so as you can see here, we've got a little bit of a gap, and we still have all this space. On the other fender, I extended it out to meet the body line right here. And so I'm aiming to do a similar thing, right? And so the goal is going to be trying to kind of find a place to match this up to be able to do the same, which is going to take some trimming here on this, and then trying to get it to where it sits nice and flush and flat and follows the line here. Because when I butt weld all of this together, I hopefully the second time around do better than what I did on the driver's side. Granted, car is not going to be a beauty queen. That's why we bought a fairly worthless roller to begin with, because no matter what we do to it, it's not going to make it worth less. Um, so I'm going to start working on trying to figure out how we want to get this done. I'm going to get the grinder so we can start. I can start kind of trimming this away to get it to where it fits against all of this the best way we can, and also hopefully match the curvature really well. So when it comes to cutting this off and then butt welding it all back together, it's easy to blend, but step at a time. All right, so now by looking at it, we've got a nice tight fill all through here. So really happy about that. I've got a little bit of a gap right here. So I'm going to have to make a little filler plate there. But basically where the plate comes across on the back side, I'm going to mark a line, make a cut, make a fill piece for that, and then start welding all of this in. But from the bottom side, much like I did the rest of it. So right now I am just doing little filler welds on the trim holes. So I have this tool that's a copper head, so the weld won't stick to the head. And then I just fill in the gap, and then I'll blend it and smooth it out. Believe me, if you're able to see all of this in the welding, it is not pretty, but I'm also not going to let you guys get any closer to it than that. That's all I'm going to say about that. My welding, my metalwork, I am no, like, metalwork guru or anything like that. I am just a dude with a hobby. So I got this pretty much touched up where it's about in the same condition as the driver's side fenders. So I'm going to work on hitting this with the surface conditioner and get all of the surface rust off of here to hit it with an epoxy primer, and then call it a day. And then we'll pretty much call these done. Not done, but at a good stopping point for us to put effort into some of the other parts of the project, which we've got engine stuff coming up. We've got a transmission rebuild. I bought a transmission, and I'll show you guys that soon. And just trying to have a good time and keep this thing moving forward. So real quick before I hit this thing with the epoxy primer, I wanted to show you guys where this thing is at. So with, let me take out some of the brightness for a little more clarity. With the extension, a very ugly blend, realistically. But all in all, like, I've got decent gaps. I've got almost all of the trim piece holes done. There's just this one little one down here that I'm really not gonna stress. All in all, this thing's actually fully welded in on the bottom. Like, when I say fully welded in, like, it's welded, so there won't be any issue of this thing really falling apart on me. But got it done with the surface conditioner, so the surface is super clean, and I'm gonna hit it with some black epoxy primer, and then that'll be where we go ahead and start to work on doing some filling, blending, like so on and so forth. It's not perfect, but it's a step forward, and that's what I'm happy about. All right, the rough work of the fenders are done for right now. I mean, They're not perfect and beautiful, but they're solid. They're not going to go anywhere, and they're at least the same color. So with the front end, I mean, look how fat those front tires are. So crazy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me kind of butcher, but kind of make cooler. And if you haven't subscribed, yeah, please subscribe. Give a like and a comment. I know some person who's an expert in metal craft is going to come and say, that's garbage. And I kind of know. But this thing isn't supposed to be beauty queen. This thing is supposed to hold together and be one heck of a driver when I'm done.